Let everyone get in. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Squire Nea from Marion. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I do a lot of heralding. Before I went to grad school, I was Marion's head herald for 2 years. I currently do a lot of work with heralding tournaments and stuff, but I've run national fields, both locally at Marion and also at national events as well. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the beginnings, the introduction to heralding. Heralding, as it sits right now, is kind of divided into 2 different categories, what are called field heralding and tournament heralding. And they have a lot of overlap, but they also have some differences. So the big thing, do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to guess what the things that are similar, or do you just want me to tell you?
Guessing is fun.
Guessing is fun? Okay. What do you think is the most important thing for field heralding? Like, big thing. Correct! I need like prizes to throw at people now. Yeah, safety is the biggest thing for field heralding. You'll see people get frustrated that somebody's cheating or whatever's going on with hit taking and stuff. But at the end of the day, if the people are having fun on this field and nobody's dying, you're doing great, actually. It's hard to catch those things. And the inverse, what do you think the most important thing is when tournament heralding?
Also safety. Winning.
That's if you're fighting in the tournament. I would say the biggest thing to look for, like, yes, safety is important because safety is always important, but also you are paying way more attention to it. The main reason you are standing there heralding is because of hit taking, not because of safety. Yes, you're going to run into safety issues when you're heralding a tournament, but it is not the reason you're standing in that pit. Versus when you are field heralding, the reason people in yellow are standing on that field is for safety, is to be another pair of eyes if something weird happens. And so it is very 2 different things, and you're looking for very different things. So, everything makes sense so far? Great. The next big piece I'm going to talk about is like communication and the things that are like important to both talk to, because you're often going to work with other people on the field. So what things are important for you to tell other heralds, what things do the people on the field really need to know, and those kinds of things. So when you're on the field, you'll notice that sometimes field heralds will deal with something in the very beginning, or deal with something as it's happening, or they might wait and talk to somebody afterwards. And I'm going to kind of talk about the logic between which one you choose. Because I think that's really important, because parts of this depend on the context. If we're in a really complex, long scenario battle, you're way more likely to wait till somebody dies. So like when I talk about, it's either waiting till somebody dies is generally like if we're talking about some things, or you might talk about it in the beginning, or when it happens. So there are some things that need to be addressed immediately. Some of those things are like big safety issues. Like if you find a hole in the field, putting a herald on there, and so they're yelling at people constantly, that is information that fighters need immediately. If somebody is going around and is like swinging a big sword, lots of 12 o'clocks, and has already hit multiple people in the head, you should address that immediately. That is a continuous safety issue. If somebody just once accidentally headshot someone, you might wait till they die and go, hey, watch your shots. I noticed you did this. They don't need to be chastised in the middle of the field. You don't have to interrupt the flow of the fight. Another thing when dealing specifically with scenario battles is if something, if a rule needs to be clarified, if you have a bunch of people confused, you can just pause your field and go, hey, this is what the rule is, here's the clarification. Don't be afraid to do that. That goes part of the fun part of the safety and fun themes of the field. But also, if you're adjusting or changing a rule after maybe you run around a scenario and you're like, what if I made this adjustment? You don't need to make that adjustment in the middle of the fight. You would make that adjustment before you start the next scenario battle. So those are some of the like concepts and stuff that you when you're making the decision of, am I talking to somebody right now about a safety issue, or if I am talking to somebody after they die about a safety issue? Any questions? Lovely. I'm glad I'm cohesive. Tournament heralding. Tournaments are very, very quick. I know some of you have had the chance to participate or view tournaments, and some of you guys have not, but they are very, very quick. And if some of you guys get interested in heralding, at some point you might end up on the in a tournament pit helping out. And so the kinds of things you're talking to each other about. There's a lot more nonverbal communication in tournament heralding, specifically between heralds to heralds, because you can only see, you are looking for shot placement, and you can only see like one side of a person. So like you'll often watch heralds will like kind of look at each other and nod, being like, yes, that hit was good, or like, no, that didn't hit anything. Or just kind of different body language stuff. It's, in my experience, it also sometimes depends on who I am heralding with. There are people that I have done a lot of tournament heralding with that I have kind of like a body language thing that we've worked out. But then there's also times like I will do more visible body language movements and stuff for somebody that I don't herald with as often, and it is something I keep conscious of. But the things that you want to note, if you've seen probably in tournaments where, you know, you're sitting here debating who shot was late for all of those pieces and stuff, and that tends to happen at the end of the fight, like you're just figuring out who's dead. And a lot of times the communication that you're going to be doing is you're going to be asking fighters questions about what happened, and then you're also going to be trusting your own memory. And so those are like the big things. But things that you might call out during a tournament that would not interrupt the flow of the fight. A lot of times you'll see heralds remind people to note damage properly. If you go to national events, you get a lot of cross gamers. And Daggy here,
This stupid shit.
yeah, it's so silly. They do this, and like we all kind of know what it means, but also that is not per our rules how you're supposed to note that type of damage, and they know that, and they need to be reminded of it. So that is something I will call out. Or I might be like, note if something, how much damage you have on your shield, or hey, did that, or like ask quick clarifying questions, being like armor count real quick. Because you might not see something, and I've definitely been in tournament pits where there's only me as a herald and I cannot see the other side of it. And so those kinds of things that are quick, really, really quick response and are not going to interrupt the flow of the fight are things that are going to happen during the fight. Almost all the other pieces of communication between the herald and the fighter are going to happen after the fight is done, after we think somebody is dead. And clearly if you're like, that person's dead, call somebody dead. That is your purpose there. But does that all make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to have you guys try some of this stuff, if you are wanting to. My plan for this was if you wanted to practice field heralding and specifically running a field, I'm going to talk over how to do that real quick. And we would do that. And then also if anybody wanted to try out like kind of like mock tournament heralding, I was going to have my lovely unit mates that I definitely voluntold mess up things. So like just a lot of times you have like weird rules for tournaments and stuff. Everyone puts their foot on a cone before you start and let you guys practice some of those things. Is that something you would all be interested in?
Sure.
Sweet. Okay, so management of a field. We'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk about tournaments, and then we'll go into the tournament stuff, and then I'm going to just, whoever wants to help run a field, I'm going to be on the field with you and let you guys run it for like 10, 15 minutes, however long you want. So field management. Important things to know. Oftentimes you'll hear people, for ditch battles, you'll hear people say weapons up, lay on. That weapons up is the time when you weapons up and you look around. You make sure nobody's like sitting on the edge tying their shoe. You make sure nobody's like doing anything. When the fields that I run, I expect my fighters to put their weapons up to let us know that they're ready. And if I don't see someone, I will just like stare them down and kind of look at them until their buddy nudges them. And it is a nonverbal way we use to be like, yes, I am ready. And so that is like an important thing. And then lay on, everyone goes and fights. Those are like some key pieces. Taking that time to look around is important because gear malfunctions, maybe there's a new safety issue that happened, look at your field before you call lay on.
Projectiles. People often don't have their
Oh
projectiles
yeah.
yet.
The projectile treasure hunt is such a fun and good time. Another thing to note is balancing teams. That's a huge piece of running your field, is how you balance teams. You guys have a smaller field. In big national fields, balancing teams is kind of just like a little more complex. A lot of times they'll take people by units or realms and stuff, and they'll just switch around a couple units and realms. How you do it on a smaller field is it depends on like a lot of factors. So you want to be paying attention to who's winning, what side's losing. Sometimes you can balance by somebody steps on the field and you go, okay, that side has lost like 3 times, so you're going over there. But also a lot of times, instead of moving one person, I will flip-flop people. And I will kind of flip-flop people that I might flip-flop somebody that's like a medium skill fighter and like a low skill fighter, because a high skilled fighter on this side is just wiping everybody, and 2 medium skilled fighters can take that fight. And then that changes the probability of one side losing or another. Something that often happens is there's very often, especially with smaller fields, one fight that kind of decides which side is going to win. And so like a piece of that is like identifying that, and there's different ways to go about doing that. I look for the person. I will look around and be like, who's still alive? Is it the like top stick fighter on my field that I always expect alive? And I'm like, okay, how many people did they kill? And I'll pay attention to them a couple times. And pieces of this, the advantage you guys have over me running your field is that you know the people on this field. You know those fighters. You can use that information and make a more balanced field where you guys can take turns fighting with each other and stuff. When I've run the field, I've had people be like, hey, I want to fight with so-and-so today. I'm like, yeah, sure. So those 2 are a pair of people that always end up on the side. And it allows you to balance for those kinds of things, so you can actually practice things you want to practice. Like if you want to really practice fighting with somebody in preparation for a 2-man tournament, that's a way to go about doing that. And having a small field and having heralds that can balance your field and know that information means that you can actually work on developing your skills. This is a teamwork thing. Your heralds are not your enemy. They're your teammates to help you herald, or help you learn and help you practice things and help facilitate that. So that is a big section of, those are like the 2 main things about field fighting, is figuring out how to balance your field and ensuring that everyone's ready to fight when you're ready to fight. Any questions? See, when I said, does it sound hard now? Great. I remember the first time I got shoved on the field in yellow. Talon just put yellow on me and was like, have fun, I'll be out there too. And I was like, this is absolutely terrifying. We should have a conversation, I beg of you, please. So you guys are getting the conversation I wish I had.
This is the talk.
This is the talk, okay? We're all gonna sit in a circle and I'm gonna give you really important information, then like a third of it's not gonna make sense till you step out on that field, and that's okay. When you guys, the second piece is when you're heralding in a tournament. There's a lot of complex things going on in tournaments. And tournaments are harder to herald because you are looking for accuracy.
Also, everyone cares way more.
Oh yeah, they all care so much, and they are a little whiny, and it's fine, I guess. They could be whiny, but I'm just like, the world won't end. Nothing's gonna like, it's not like, the world won't end if you lose a tournament, and it's okay. But yeah, tournaments have oftentimes weird, complex rules, as those who've participated have probably heard about, sat and listened to those and stuff, and all of those pieces. The biggest things, oftentimes, if you have multiple tournament pits, you will have people that are running the pit, and then also people that are helping herald. Running the pit is an entire different skill set that I think I could have an entire different class on. We're just gonna talk about your standing in there, and the things that you are looking for. The biggest thing is your shot placement and making people's shots where they're hitting, and making sure that you getting called right, because the heralds are here in tournaments to protect the integrity of these tournaments. The thing that they care about winning so much that they're very whiny about, they would like it to be the integrity of it to be protected, and that is your job as a tournament herald, is to help protect that integrity. But the biggest thing as a tournament herald is being confident in your calls. You're not going to be perfect. You're not always going to get it right. The first time you ever step into a tournament pit should not be by yourself. Blair's at Blue. Luna's wildlife choices and should not be held as an example.
It worked out fine.
But yes. But that's like the basics thing. Like, some people look at tournaments and they're like, I want to herald that tournament. And I feel like that is and some people look at the feeling like, I'd love to run a field. And there are different skill sets, but they're both like equally important. When you're in a tournament, it's protecting that integrity. So it's paying attention to things, and you're gonna like learn a lot of different skills when you sit in herald in a tournament pit. Something I learned very early on is learning how to identify the difference between a sword hitting a body and a shield, which is a skill I can take anywhere as a herald. And there's and also.
Do you want an example for that?
Yeah, actually, I'd love an example for that. I'm just gonna grab some. We have a shield. We just need a sword.
We have a sword.
We have a sword, Blue. Blue wants gloves. That's so fair. Great. Yeah, we're gonna have an example. I think this is a really important thing that is useful for both tournaments and on the field. That's fair. You also need a sword.
I also need swords.
Yeah, you have a sword. Oh, okay.
So,
Foam on foam makes a very distinct sound. Even foam on like a wooden core shield still has that sound. You see? You were like sad and paid attention to it.
There was a very distinct echo.
Yeah, it echoes a lot more. It tends to be a little bit louder. And like part of that I think is like the physics of it is because foam hitting foam, it absorbs sound. Blue would tell me if I was wrong.
It just sounds muffled to me.
Yeah, muffled is a good way to describe it.
And crunchy.
Yeah.
also like if I can't even get it. You probably get on me if you get like just belt.
Yeah.
Like that's a different noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Swishy.
and all of these all this skill, like my ability, like I could probably do parts of this with my eyes closed. And that it comes from me doing this for years. But knowing that there's a difference in sound and you can use those skills, super important.
I was trying to hit, if I can
Both,
hit
yeah.
just both, you can hear that it
Yeah.
hits both.
Yeah, you can hear both yeah. Thank you for this lovely demonstration about
Do you want me to go and start setting up cones too?
Yeah. So I think we're gonna pause. I'm gonna set up cones, and you guys are gonna kind of get the basics of tournament heralding. You are gonna be like doing it with me, but you're gonna learn practicing, kind of just monitoring heralding a tournament with no stakes involved. These two are gonna do things like not understand the rules. I might tell them to pretend to slough at some point for funsies, but mostly they're gonna do things like not stand where they're supposed to, or just like, not take damage properly. Things that you should, even if you were not running a tournament pit, are going to call as a herald to remind people of. The easy things. It's like when on a field, if somebody walks over the edge, they're dead. Also, we are doing hard edges. If they walk over the edge, they're dead. It's like falling off a cliff. It's a bad time. I did say a line, and I kind of was expecting a line like this direction. You did a line like, it's fine. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. You did line-shaped things, and that's close enough.
I wanted to see you.
No, that's so fair. I was wrong about how the line should go. But I'm going to kind of supervise, and we're going to have 2 at a time. I'll have you guys flip-flop about calling lay on to the tournament pit.
The like big things that can be different tournament to tournament are the edges hard or soft. Is the herald calling lay on, and where do we start?
Yeah.
So those are like the big things that I as a fighter always ask going into a tournament.
Yeah. And in this
So
case,
right now, our herald has not told us anything, so who
Yeah.
knows what we'll do.
yeah. So in this case, for this scenario, technically this is, I'm gonna fix this actually, so not straight line.
I didn't say I was gonna be a straight line, so I was gonna set it up.
Yeah, that is so true.
great.
For this, for the rules that you have that you are enforcing in here is that they start with their foot on a cone and a corner. They can pick their corner if they really want to, but they start with like a back foot on a cone. You see? Across from each other at a diagonal. This thing's important. They can, these edges are hard edges, and we're gonna use Dirtamarian rules. Like if a hand comes out, it's fine, but if two hands, limb, body, whatever, you're very dead.
Everybody understands what hard edges means, correct? For those who don't, hard edges is one, like Nea just explained, 1 foot out, you're dead, and in this case, 2 hands out, you're dead, 1 hand out, you're fine.
One of any body except for a hand.
Yeah.
One head, one shoulder, one knee, one of anything but a single hand.
Is dead?
Oh, then
It's
you're
dead. Yeah.
Just put people and start doing it. You got it.
Okay, you two. When you stand here in a fighting pit, you guys stand across each other so you can see on both sides. So
back up everybody so that they can have enough room to move around.
you can stand in here. You're gonna stand in the cones. They should not hit you. They get grounded if they hit you.
How many battles you have?
You're about to learn something.
Kind of useful clip that is.
You are gonna start with killing Leon. On your mark.
Fighters ready? Feet on cones. 3, 2, 1, lay on.
Remember, you hear what you're doing
sort of
is
short.
shots.
Foot out.
And you are very, yep. And when you say foot out, say things like foot out, dead, to like reinforce that is what's happening. Point, you know what I mean?
Call the effect, call the consequence.
Weapons up. Foot on comb.
Okay, remember,
Good?
Alright, weapons up. Lay on.
Cannot throw a shield. That is so illegal per the Book of Wars.
Wait, is that okay? I'm gonna start
That is an example.
Not a ranged weapon.
You can drop a shield, you cannot throw a shield.
Yes, that is true. And
But if you raise it to someone's face and let go, you're dropping, it's still loose.
yeah, but again, Book of War still applies. That is when you would call blue so dead. I was just not prepared for that.
Yeah, no,
You threw it really well. It just
That was a good throw.
that looked like a practice shot.
Okay, you're gonna call Leon, and then we'll
It's really easy to throw this shield because it's both lightweight and a punch shield.
do it again.
Fighters ready? Weapons up. Feet on cone. 3. Weapon up. 3, 2, 1, lay on.
And you rotate around. So when you are looking at this, you want, if I slice them, here, pause real quick. Slice them. You want one person on this side of the slice and one person on this side of the slice.
That is a really hard thing to do, though.
Another thing, like right now, I have both legs on the ground.
Yeah, so if blue gets hit in the leg, blue is dead.
Either way, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, on my count, 3, 2, 1, lay on. You broke your
Like,
Yep. Good
I
job.
was actually trying to grab the sword.
I know.
Well,
I will
I
have
really
fun.
grab more strike
Rotate it the next group of people.
Technically, you're in armor, you can't grapple.
Oh.
That is,
Grabbing the sword is not a grapple.
that is, yep.
Yeah.
He's gonna call it, and then we're gonna rotate in 2 new people.
Comb. Weapons up. Lay on.
Yeah. So Blue took their shield and it went to James' face, and shield contact to the face is illegal. So that is when you would put a warning. Yeah, that would be a warning. On the field, I might call somebody dead if I watch them doing it excessively, because they can just get over
I was
it.
also ready for you to just hit me in the head at some point.
I was waiting for that as well.
Not planning on hitting you in the head.
Okay, thank you guys so much. My next two victims.
Oh, victims. That will be called now.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
We're
where you
dead?
want
That's our lure?
Yeah.
Watching you.
Oh, I see.
Okay. You are starting with the calls for lay on. Make sure everybody is in the correct position per the rules I gave.
We're all gnomes.
Weapons up.
There are no
lay on.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
I will fight like that.
See, I may be gnome. That's about it.
That felt light. I don't know. And looked like it was.
Argue yourself out of a win.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is some fighters will argue themselves out of a win. And part of teaching the integrity, keeping the integrity of this, is also ensuring that the fighters that decide to talk themselves out of a win are not.
I was actually talking about there was a strike that touched my butt.
Oh, I thought it was your.
That one, honestly,
Mostly like the touch my body. It felt like I hit shield into body, not actual thing. That's what it felt like to me.
That one kind of looked like it was hitting where easy into kind of like left leg that was a very dead leg into butt, so it's kind of hard to really tell.
So Harold says looks into like left
Yeah, they were
leg.
saying they didn't hear anything, so it's probably like.
There we go. And that is what your guys' job is to do, is when there's questions like that to help clarify. Hey, but the thing is, also important things to know. No, not moving it. Important things to know. Before you start up your field, you gotta make sure it's slippery. We tend to use rope. That thing, but that's fantastic. But I just feel like it's simple and dirty.
It's still
We're calling lay on.
Alright. Fighters ready? Weapons up. Lay on.
He's dead. Fuck around.
ready? Fighters ready? Weapons up. Lay on.
No, that didn't hit me. There's no way. I barely felt that. I'm pretty sure it was mostly hair.
Are you gonna let this fight continue under contention?
What are you watching, ref?
It's too realistic.
Nobody said anything.
That one was on. I couldn't see it from my angle because that was all.
Okay. I was just like,
I was kind of trying to defer to you for that.
okay. I wasn't sure if it was. I don't know.
I just have that answer.
But Blue didn't
Yeah, Blue didn't say anything.
It's on the. So it is technically illegal for me to call a shot. Like, calling my own shots is against the rules. Yeah.
So I shouldn't let them try to.
So, like, the thing is, Brigamere said light. I didn't super hear anything. So, light, from my angle, I would go with that. And Blue did look upset by the light call.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes that is what you go on, especially if nobody has the correct angle. Sometimes you
So
go,
like you had the angle on that one
Yeah.
to see if it was really connected or not. And it was near the tip too, so you're never gonna get as much noise. Also anything that connects like the chest like that doesn't sound the same.
yeah. And also, it just might
I didn't do that.
turn on, you knocked over your own field.
You did.
Dead.
Okay.
So did you.
I'm gonna have you call this one.
Yep. Fighters ready. In the corners. Weapons up. Lay on.
Dead leg. Dead leg. Dead leg.
Not dead leg.
Oh. Oh yeah, you have both legs down.
When you're looking at those kinds of things, I do is when you're in a fight, there's two people. You kind of look in the center and you watch where weapons are going, and it is important to go and glance and make sure, like every time something hits a dead leg, someone says dead leg, I look at both their legs in that moment.
Because I had it up to the first two and then I dropped it.
Got it.
And I
was
had the
hoping
right
you kept
angle
on.
to watch exactly where you dropped it. I did have the advantage there to see that.
And knowing like where to, so like if somebody is legged like that, like if I'm legged here, right? You know you have to keep an eye on this, so make sure there's someone in position to see that leg. Because like the difference between this and this is pretty minute.
Yeah.
You can probably only see it from this back corner.
And so that would be partially your responsibility because it is on your side of the
Field.
So like, yeah, just to put it more in perspective, you for blue really care about this section.
Yeah. Like I'm not
Above.
kidding. If you put like a line for blue, you care about everything that you can see on this side of blue and on the inside from this side. It's kind of like, you know how like you look at like a mirror kind of thing? That is what you're looking to.
Got it. And so on the other hand, you should be watching the other half of the
Yep.
side.
And that's why you normally have to do a tournament. If you need a
You
call,
can use your right
then
arm if you
we'll
want,
do
by the
the next ruling.
My right wrist is hurting me. I've been doing lefty too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just
I thought it was
lefty
just for my benefit,
No,
or for the benefit of this.
no.
No. I
No,
told
lefty
you
be
you
lefty
could
is
use
more or less
lefty.
the same as righty be righty as far as the heralds are concerned.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fighters ready? Weapons up. Leon.
That was
A choice.
So,
I'm not sure with that.
we'll talk about it after the fight.
yeah.
Hand. Shield. Hand?
Which one don't you know?
So there was one shot that kind of went right past your shield that seemed to hit chest. I don't know if that felt light or crazy.
It hit the hand.
Was it the hand shield?
It might have been that. It might have been that's what I heard actually.
And that is why you have two different views.
Also, I tried to kick blue shield.
And this.
Yeah,
But
isn't that technically legal
I
though?
wasn't
It
sure
is
about
not.
It's not.
It's not?
Because
My
blue.
shield is too small.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that is something because yeah.
What are the rules
Is there?
on shield size?
Yeah.
That is something. If I was
13
running,
inches diameter.
if I was running this pit, I would probably go, hey, you're
that
not allowed
not
to hit
13
somebody's
inches?
shield and restart the fight.
It is 12.
Specifically because
That
the
looks
shield.
like 13.
Yeah, it's
Brigamir's
12 by 18.
did not connect. If Brigamir's foot connected, I
You would've
might.
stopped it.
I'd have
That's
stopped
why I did
it.
super slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Brigamir's foot is correct. I would have been like, yo, Brigamir, your shield kicked, weak, but also can't do that again.
It's one of those things where like it is important to know if your own shield can be kicked because like my shield is in the questionable range, right?
Yeah.
So
Is
me
that
knowing that
from-
my shield cannot be kicked is good information for me as a fighter to have, and like that has happened to me in tournaments. Like I was in a sword and board tournament where I lost because somebody kicked my shield, and Talon, who is Nea's knight, literally walked up to me and I was sad about it. And Talon was like, "That's illegal."
Yeah, because
And
you
me
have a
knowing that.
smaller stature, so that shield looks slightly larger
Yeah,
than it is.
because it's
so
a reasonable
looks,
size for me.
Yeah.
But it is too small to be kicked.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna do one or two more than I was thinking for my wrist because it's kind of doing this much action. But I'll make sure.
Hey,
You guys switch out fighters?
welcome.
Were you getting tested on it?
Have you practiced? Yeah, the tournament guys.
Oh,
okay.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
These two are brand new.
Oh, hi.
These are
welcome.
our two newest.
I've been playing. This is my fourth practice. Great. This will be good for you, actually. You learn a lot of skills, I think, as a fighter when you learn how to herald as well.
And this would be my second practice.
And this is a confidence builder exercise.
They like hit the chest is like.
Okay. Do you remember like the base rules and stuff for all of this? Foot starting on the toe, hard edge, and well, they will take it easy to you on the random book of war nonsense. They did make the last one hard. Please entertain me with your shield. Yeah. But you are going to start with calling, weapons up, lay on. Make sure you glance around and all the rules are being followed.
Fighters ready? Weapons up. Foot on cone. Foot on cone.
Yeah.
Lay on.
Again, you want to like move with the fight. So you want to be standing right about here for it. There we go.
Leg.
But you can in your head. As a practice exercise, I will often call it out in my head of what got hit.
Oh, what about No.
And it's so legal, just really wild, actually.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll be in a fighting pit. People make weird choices.
Dead.
That was actually kind of scary.
They died. The only questionable thing there was I had a graze on my arm that I didn't say anything about.
I knew it was.
I
I
didn't
saw it,
communicate.
but I saw it as a grave. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, so it might not be unreasonable to, as a herald, ask, since I didn't say anything at all.
There was also one of mine as well.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at you. I was like,
Yeah.
But additionally, one main thing I did not do is communicate at all.
And neither of us shit.
Yeah. You guys
Bad communication.
And sometimes if I'm noticing a pit has bad communication, I'll say things like, "Hey, remember to communicate." And again, that is something any of the tournament heralds would say. That is not integral to running a pit. That is just a thing you need as a herald in this pit.
Yeah, if we're not communicating, no even less information about what's going on.
Yeah. I forget. Sometimes I'll herald with people I know really well, and fighters won't be communicating, but we do know exactly what's happening. We're like, this isn't the best way to go about this, but we're in the zone. But you guys are new, so you need that communication, and the fighter should be doing it.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna call
You can call people out not properly.
Weapons up. Lay on.
Wait, the footwear on the cone.
Okay, you can call reset.
Reset.
Oh, yes, Herald, sir.
And if
Don't
you
apologize.
notice, Blue's got a wayward cone over there. Just walk over and fix it. I see.
Stop while I mull it over.
Weapons up. Lay on.
It did hit my arm.
Can you throw a weapon? No, you cannot. That is dead on blue. You can't throw a weapon.
Not every illegal action should result in death. I was dead already. That's actually how the weapon got thrown. Was I got hit in the arm and I just let go when I got hit. However, it is illegal and you should tell me not to do it.
Warning.
A lot of illegal actions in result in telling the fighter not to, not in death.
If people do repeatedly the same illegal action over and over again, then you might start doing penalties like their opponent gets a win against them.
It's long, so don't
You're
hurry.
gonna call it?
It's got some range.
Fighters ready. Weapons up. Lay on.
Don't forget, if you have questions, you can ask them to clarify things.
Did that hit your leg?
What?
Blue, did that hit your leg?
Yeah. So what does that result in?
Being legged? No, death.
Yeah.
Good job.
I took both legs, but I just didn't die.
Alright, good catch. Call this time, and then we'll go to
You need to put an
Weapons at the
addendum.
ready.
Great thought. Catch you later.
Guard.
Blue, did that hit your hip?
No.
Out of bounds. Death by cliff.
I love how we were both just looking at something, we were like, you hit him in the shoulder, and I was light, and I'm like,
Did you enjoy falling to your death?
Yes.
You know an Avatar Glass Airbender?
Okay.
Not Avatar Glass Airbender, Legend of Korra. They have the little. Yeah, you know how
They were bending on the platform.
Yeah, this is a platform in the air. When they step off of it, they're just kind of dead.
Okay.
But
Yeah, a lot of people describe it as laser wall.
The pro bending.
Yeah, cliff is a common one.
yeah.
Let's test it out. Keep going.
Well, there's 5 or 6 nerves that you can press.
Up. Does anyone else want to
Just do it lightly.
practice this?
Herald practicing. Herald practicing. Mantis,
I wouldn't mind. I thought we had like 4 more people. Did you want to get in there? I know Blue said they wanted to.
Blue.
Were you worried about your wrist?
Blue.
Yeah, I want to swap out in a second because my wrist is
I'll go in.
Yeah. I was just getting somebody to switch in. Did you want to? Well,
Yeah, practice heralding.
I'm pretty comfortable with it, so you guys go first.
okay.
I'm gonna wait for Lucky.
What are we doing?
How much do you
Do something fuck out.
Yeah.
Kind of working in naturally.
Tap into your acting skills. Use that degree or whatever.
Okay, you're gonna start with calling weapons up and lay on.
Alright, put on cone. Fighters ready? Weapons up.
You wanna wait for them to get their weapons out.
Okay.
Just yell at me again.
Okay. Weapons up.
All right.
Okay.
I got to be a dick.
This is actually secretly a confidence building exercise for the entire realm of Silvalorn. Yeah. Remember, rotate with the fight. And you can rotate back the opposite direction. I have an entire footwork class. I'm just
Nice try, Kyle.
Well, walk us through it. Like, you don't know us. We're
Okay,
cheating.
okay.
He's cheating in a fight. What's up?
Okay, that was a hip shot.
Okay.
He wrapped around right under your sword.
All right.
Alright.
There you go. Be confident. You're
I felt
dictating
that on my
yourself.
leg though.
Yeah, it was hard.
I mean, so if you want to pull shields, take this.
oh, look at him learning. It's so
Down, like over this. Big piece of square. Round it on the inside if you want, but make sure it doesn't pass the diameter.
Is that like dead or disabled?
Go in, pull from the side and then push it.
Shouldn't interrupt like that, should I?
If you need clarification, so it depends. Is Lucky's
So
knee
a lot of our spearmen had that little ball.
Lucky's knee is on the ground?
Oh
No, the original
The
shot.
leg,
Okay.
the first leg that you lost.
Oh.
I was asking if it was dead or disabled. Okay.
There you go.
Herald, so you can.
Okay.
So
So when I need clarification like that, how should I? Because I know it messes up the fight if I say something like he killed him right away.
yeah, so it's so situationally dependent.
Okay.
And like part of it is your job to pay attention to those things, but also sometimes I'd be like clarify wounds. So that's more like it's a shorter question.
Okay.
And easier to get out and easier for them to be like stabbed or slashed.
Yeah, my instinct will be to just clarify the wounds in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially.
Also set up some like handshake with it because I was at the angle of the seat. So
Okay.
you can look and you'd be like, and then I go like this,
Yeah.
and that way it's like this is obviously slash.
I will literally across the way. I will like, especially if I know the herald's name, I'll be like, Mortem, is that leg slashed or stabbed? And I will just literally address the herald, not the fighter.
Okay.
The fighter just in that moment doesn't get an opinion on what they think it is. The herald had the view, and I trust my herald.
Okay.
And if you start with the name of the person you're talking to, I know you're not talking to me, so I can keep fighting.
Okay.
Your turn to start off, Turtle.
Fighters ready? Weapons up.
Mantis.
I'm back.
Oh my gosh, sorry, man.
Lay on.
Looking right behind you at Turtle was there, okay?
If you just
What
never
else
use
happens?
anyone
Well, you
you can.
died and then stepped out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're double tagged. Your dead body got flung over the cliff.
I used to be notorious. I still do it now. For like hanging out, making friends, and never getting mad at people. So I'd like come home and talk to my parents and be like, yeah, we're my new friend, like this, here's the things about him. And like, what their name? I don't know.
They kind of look, like yay tall. That's all I know. Remember them.
Leg. Leg.
Say dead leg.
Leg.
Dead leg.
Dead leg.
Say that louder.
Dead leg.
You have to make sure the fighters can hear you.
That was light.
No. That made solid contact.
What do you mean?
I can't
actually
argue.
don't think it's like so non-instinctual.
Yeah.
I like the nod.
You're doing a great job.
Nah.
I know these guys too well to be able to,
Yeah.
you know.
No.
You might have a moment where you have to.
And I've definitely nod fighters that I did not know. And I've been like, nah, you're just dead.
You need to be firm with your friends too, especially your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. With the result, I'm firm, but getting there, I'm not.
Okay. You guys both did it twice. Thank you so much. The next two people, if there's the next two people that want to try it out.
The last two, I believe.
Last
Yeah, I
two.
did. But
It's David.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's our last two. We haven't evened them out today.
Can I get a time check?
Like a video?
Yeah, what time is it?
Oh, time is it?
Calling weapons up and lay on.
2.
No, that's good.
I was trying to time you.
Make sure
back.
It's like about to be 2 o'clock exactly.
Don't let me have them. Let me. No one said anything. Oh, sorry. Come on.
You're enjoying this.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's having a fun, good time.
Being a nuisance.
In the belt pocket is rude.
It's because there's fiddly toes.
Yeah, I'm good. Say weapons up.
Weapons up. Fight.
Light. Light.
And if you don't agree with somebody's
Light.
call, or you think,
Light.
Was that your arm?
Yeah, it was light.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
just say no, you're dead. You can't just do that.
No, I think you did.
Alright.
You know what you see.
Your string's coming out again.
Protecting the integrity. And Lucky's over here just playing cheating.
Okay. I was like, I can take something.
It's easy to win if you slough.
Slough your way to the middle.
Okay, you're gonna nope. Flip flopping. You're gonna call weapons up, lay on.
Fighters ready? Weapons up. Lay on. Jesus. Just stay the hell. Oh, no. Dead. What? You fainted to the head. Oh, okay. Got it. So.
Good call.
In a tournament, especially because like very clearly it was not like a headshot. Yes, it is a legal move. What I would do, instead of calling dead, is I'd be like, hey, you can't do that.
Okay.
This is the beginning of a fight. I would just reset the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, remove the thing that you got by cheating. So
30-second.
yeah, instead of calling them dead, you like on field you would absolutely call them dead. In a tournament, remove the advantage.
Okay.
And then if this happened like partway through the fight, I would maybe reset it to a different save point. So like, let's say Lucky leg Rigomir without having to feint to the head and then feinting to the head to kill Rigomir, we would save point to this position.
Was that your head? Yeah. Okay.
Instead of completely resetting it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, you guys can reset. I'm gonna have you call.
Fighters ready? Weapons up. Fight.
Hand. Head, but I'm good. Arm. I hate fighting like this.
Yeah.
That was so fun. I'm glad you got to enjoy yourself.
And we're gonna do one more and let you call weapons up, lay on, and I think that'll be everybody.
Actually fight for this one?
Sure. Alright.
Not just get bullied.
Weapons up. I'm sorry. Fighters ready? Weapons up. Lay on. Leg. And shoot. Hold.
Light and shoe.
I definitely planned that.
Stay where you are so that we can restart from this position. Fighters like to wander. A third of them have ADHD. Just being like, freeze.
Only a third?
A third, at least.
We haven't run the numbers yet. Okay?
We should. Take a poll.
But very clearly having.
Yeah, HIPAA violations get in the way of that.
Okay, and then on your mark, we will restart the fight.
Players ready? Weapons up. Lay on.
Sketchy. I'm trying to not get like
Sharp.
Pommel. Like, nothing. Yeah, I'm dead.
Was that Lego?
No. Lucky Foot was in line with
I retracted it in the last second. I was like, gosh, fuck, I was gonna go out.
But
No, you're good. You're good.
All right.
thank you to my unit mates who participated.
Thank you.
Thank you to High Spires people. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah.
Thank you, Nia.
Paid! Thank you, Nia!
All right.